Hey everyone, welcome back to another train game devlog. As always, let's go over what I did last week and my plans for next week. So let's jump right in. The first change is immediately visible when entering the level, as I worked a bit on the landscape. As Godot doesn't have a native terrain functionality, I used a plugin, but that worked out actually really well, so I tested around a bit with it, and yeah, I got to a, I think, interesting first result. Additionally to the landscape, I also added these tunnels at the end of the track because I felt like it makes more sense if the train is actually going into something for the next area. As next additions, I added two orbs. One of them is the Multishot orb, which does exactly what it sounds like. It increases the number of projectiles that are getting shot. So, for example, instead of here one arrow, it actually shoots now two arrows. I also played around a bit with how to make it more visible that these are now two arrows instead of one. I still need to work on that a bit, but at least in some distance you already see that these will split, but closer to the train. It still is not very visible that these are actually two arrows being shot and not only one. This multi-shot orb is also still not really balanced, as this would be a 100% damage increase if you think logically about it. It is currently similarly available as any other orb, but it is of course way more powerful than the other orbs. So this will need to be revised as the game goes on. The second orb I added are mini dragons, just because I found the idea really funny to have your own dragon army. The mini dragons deal pure fire damage, and at that quite a bit. As explained last week, the fire damage will keep ticking at the things that were hit. So these dragons will continue increasing the fire damage counter. Additionally, it is more of an area attack. They can fly above these towers and will not be destroyed until they disappear after some time. The effect when they disappear will also still need to be a bit more beautiful, but yeah, they can deal a lot more damage. One issue I see here is that the dragons don't leave any residue behind, so I would assume burn marks on the ground or train tracks. So I think I will need to look into that, how to make that a bit more interesting. Another addition is that the dodge move does now actually provide invincibility for a very short time. So timing the dodge correctly, you can destroy the towers without taking the usual 100 damage from driving into a tower. This is really only a short time though, so the timing needs to be quite good, and towers that are briefly behind one another might still damage your train. It could also be that this is very overpowered, so I will need to keep an eye on that in the next playtest. Another bigger thing were just general bug fixes. One thing that did not work before but is now working is that the weapons that are purely shooting forward now also work on towers. This did not work before as they were not oriented correctly on the rail. I'm not sure if I will keep it only at straight rails, but now even if the rails are bent in any way, these towers will still shoot in the correct direction along the rail. And with that, that's also already, again, everything that I wanted to share this week. But I also started working already on something for next week, which I think will be quite funny. So I'm already looking forward to sharing that with you after some more work. Apart from that, next week I really want to focus on some more bug fixing. There are currently several bugs in the game which make playtesting quite difficult. These range from smaller display bugs, like the vignette not being correctly removed if the player dies, to more problematic things like the orbs disappearing sometimes when leaving one of the upgrade shops. I really want to take a closer look at all of these issues and make the game again more playtest ready, as this was not very possible in the last weeks. But with that, that's again everything for this week. So I hope you enjoyed, and if you have any questions or suggestions, leave them in the comments. See you again next week.